Hello, hello, welcome back to the VTOL VR Definitive Campaign Guide. We're continuing through the EF-24G Mischiefs campaign, 1 minute to midnight. We completed mission 1 last time, which was seems like it was just kind of tacked on, but anyways, honestly it would have been fine, we just started mission 2, but I guess, yes, Baja just wanted one more mission, so, sure. Anyways, heading into mission 2, Homesick. Cover allied air groups returning to base over a SAM-covered region. This is a notoriously difficult mission, but I have a strategy. As usual, I do have a strategy. Yeah. Does require a little bit of skill, but it does require kind of a bit of skill, and honestly, if you play the multiplayer version where you have someone in the back seat, if you have someone in the back seat to control your jammers, that'll work much better. But of course you can't continue the single player campaign if you only play the multiplayer version. So anyways, let's go. The Allied airstrike group is returning home after successfully attacking their targets. With their fuel low and armaments spent, they are vulnerable. In anticipation of this, the enemy has installed SAM sites across the terrain between the coast and our airbase. Unfortunately, our supplies on board are also limited. You will only be equipped with an M61 Vulcan, 4 ECM pods, 4 GBU-38s, and 2 sidearms. Your wingman will only be equipped with jamming pod. Your wingman will only be equipped with jamming pods and may be tasked to jam targets to assist you. You have 2 primary objectives: to protect all allied air units returning to base from overseas. They are all critical assets. They are all critical assets, so the mission will be considered a failure if any of them are lost. To destroy high-value stockpiles located. To destroy high-value stockpiles located in the enemy airbase on the coast. I can't read. The Allies have been instructed to fly directly over the target stockpiles, marked with the red X on this map, over there, to allow you to deploy GBU-38s while maintaining a stand-in jamming formation. The target locations are known and will be preloaded to your GPS target system. The SAM installations will be of various types, ranging from BSM-66 batteries to MAD-4s. Hostile guided missile cruisers are also present along the coast. Use jamming and your limited armaments to suppress air defenses. Maintain your position along the returning flight in order to cover them at all times. Do not let harm come to any of the allies. So, yeah, this is a notoriously difficult mission, mainly because there is you instantly fail if any of these allied aircraft are shot down. And, they can get shot down pretty easily. Because majority of the air defenses are MAD-4s, which will one-shot all of them. If they hit. So if there's any SAMs coming for them, you're basically screwed. So it's okay. I do have a plan, and it basically just comes down to preemptive jamming, which I can explain once we get into it. So yeah, let's go.
Echo 1, you are go for launch. The Allied air group is arriving now, and they don't have the fuel to loiter. Join them as soon as possible.
Alright, so I'm gonna explain our strategy real quick for this mission. So the main strategy is we have to preemptively jam. We have to stick very close to our allies. We're basically gonna be flying like directly over the allied formation. They're gonna be flying at around 20,000 feet and around 400 knots. And we have to stick right next to them at all times. And we also have to do that while managing our jamming and also attacking in our designated targets. It's a lot to do. But here's something I'm gonna something that will help. The FRAS display. I briefly talked about the FRAS display in the previous mission, but basically it shows on the it's like kind of this graph on the horizontal axis. Sorry, on the vertical axis it shows the frequency of detected radar signals, and on the horizontal axis it shows the bearing, the relative, the bearing to that radar signal. And I recommend actually, first of all, and you see this green arrow at the top here, it shows what direction your nose is facing. And I recommend actually using the FRAS display for jamming this mission, because I find it's more accurate and sometimes can also detect targets that are that may not show up on your TSD. I think it's probably a bug. There's a bug, but sometimes when you reload a quick save, certain SAM sites will just not appear on your TSD. Certain radars will not appear in your TSD, but they will still appear on your FRAS. So you can select those. So you just keep an eye on your FRAS, but also keep an eye on your speed and altitude and position relative to the allied formation. And yeah, that's all I can really say. But there is a specific order I like to jam in targets. So with that, I'm gonna restart the mission because the allied formation has already passed us and we're still on the deck. So yeah, we're gonna restart the mission.
Echo 1, you are go for launch. The Allied air group is arriving now, and they don't have the fuel to loiter. Join them as soon as possible.
Okay, real quick, before we launch, I want to set up. I'm gonna actually set up my jammers so that we can start jamming pretty much as soon as we get up. So I'm gonna set transmitter A and A on jamming pods 7, 10, and 1 to maximum power. And then on jammer 7, I'm gonna set this long range radar, the LR radar on the NMSS cruiser. Tower, Echo 1-1, request takeoff.
Echo 1-1, you're clear to taxi to Cat 4.
We also want to get in the air as soon as possible if we can. Alright, jammer number 10.
1-1, locked in.
We're gonna set it to the other NMSS cruiser.
Echo 1-1, shields up, ready to go.
Alright, let's go. So we're gonna right away we're gonna start jamming those 3 targets over there. There's 2 NMSS cruisers and a MAD 4. We're gonna send full power jamming on 3 jammers. So you might notice the jammers are numbered 1, 2, 7, and 10. You might think those are weird numbers, but those correspond to the hard points. Oh jeez, they're already passing over us. Those correspond to the hard points. Those correspond to the hard points on your aircraft. We're gonna start jamming. Alright, jamming is active, and we want to climb up to meet our guys as soon as possible. Okay. Wingman, jam at will.
Copy that.
I don't know. I actually don't know if our wingmen actually do any useful jamming, but it's good to give it a try anyways. Alright, we need to get up, climb up, and join up.
We'll be entering firing range of the SAM sites shortly, so set up those jammers right away. As you
already
approach
done.
the coast, you'll reach the release point for striking the ground targets, so make sure your GPUs are ready for that. The target positions are preloaded, so you don't need to worry about finding them.
Roger. Come on. So my advice for jamming is always do full power jamming on Mad Force and NMSS cruisers. Cause when jamming Mad Force and NMSS cruisers, you will always want to use full power jamming. Because those SAMs have more powerful radars and can easily those jammers have more those radars have more power. Those radars are very powerful, and so they do require the full power jamming in order to effectively blind them at any significant distance, at any useful distance. Alright, we're approaching our allies. I don't see any SAM launches, so hopefully we're okay. Alright, now we are going to prepare so now our primary task is to stick close to our allies at all times. Stick close to our allies at all times. Alright, arming weapons, because we're gonna be passing over the target soon. Uh-oh, SAM launch. SAM launch. Uh-oh, we might be screwed. We might be screwed. Yep. And the bomber, and I think we're dead. And we're dead. Dude, why are you breaking off?
Oh no! One of the SAMs got through and struck it out.
Yep. And yeah, if you're too slow, that's what's gonna happen. So you want to be fast. You really have to be quick, and you really have to join up with your allies quick. So again, launch as soon as possible. You have to launch as soon as possible. And now we're just gonna go space shuttle status. We're gonna go space shuttle status. So yeah. In order to climb up the altitude as soon as possible, we're gonna go space shuttle status, and our allies gonna like pass right behind us. are gonna be like coming right behind us. All right, jamming active. All right. Jammer's active. So I didn't really get to explain what the number. So the numbers, as I was saying before, the numbers in the numbers of our jamming pods correspond to their respective hard points. Correspond to our respective hard points. The respective hard points they are mounted on. Jammers 7 and 10 are mounted on the wing pylons, while 1 and 2 are mounted on the belly. Are mounted on the belly between our engines. And that is actually important and to keep in mind, because that is actually important to keep in mind because that is important to keep in mind because that's important to keep in mind, and because where your jammer is will actually affect what their field of view is. Because if the target if the jammer does not have a direct line of sight to the target radar, it won't be able to jam. So if it's blocked by your aircraft, like when you're doing a maneuver, yeah, the jamming won't work. The jamming will be ineffective. All right. Here's our allied aircraft. We need to actually slow down. We need to slow down and to join up with them. Let's not descend so much. I said let's not descend so much. Alright. Here they are. They're right below us. We need to speed up now. We slowed down too much. Okay, I think their speed is actually more like 420 knots. 420. Remember, they are blazing it. Your allies are blazing it. Alright, and now we're gonna prepare to attack the ground targets. Okay, hold on. I need to actually set my, I need to set up my GPU 38 to auto mode. And that's good. That'll be good. Alright, we should be good. Alright, so what we're gonna be passing over this base, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire off a sidearm at We're gonna fire off a sidearm at that saw down there. Magnum. Wingman, jam at will. And we're gonna switch to GPS bombs. Bombs away. Alright, cool. Alright, our attack run is complete. Attack run complete. Now back to focusing on jamming. We can at this point we can stop jamming the At this point we can stop jamming in the cruisers, because we're actually out of their firing arc right now. Because we're actually past their firing arc. So
good effect on targets. Keep up with the jamming effort. That should be your primary focus for the rest of the flight.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dynamically adjust our jamming. We're gonna dynamically control our jamming to properly, you know. We're gonna dynamically adjust our jamming, our jamming patterns to make sure our allies are well protected. So any mad fours that you see within, like, say 40 miles, you want to start jamming. Another thing to keep in mind, our jamming path is gonna bring us right over. Our jamming path is gonna basically gonna bring us right over this SL radar over here. So our flight path is going to bring us right directly over an SL radar, and that's going to be actually really tricky. That's actually going to be pretty tricky to deal with, because because jamming is honestly not super effective against it. It is not that effective against it. So what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna just, like, kill it. Oh jeez, that's bad. You want to be careful not to bank too hard, otherwise, you know, you'll lose you'll lose the jamming effect of this. Okay, we're falling behind our allies. We need to pick up some speed. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, shoot. still on.
Shoot.
Magnum.
Roger.
Shoot. Shoot.
Alright, bombed away.
Shoot.
Bombed away. Alright, cool. No more weapons remaining. Weapons are empty. I'm gonna start shifting over my jamming. Alright, target neutralized. Alright, SL radar neutralized. So I didn't really get, I wasn't really able to explain in my plan, my strategy too much. But basically, just think ahead. You wanna think ahead. Always think ahead, and you wanna be proactive in your jamming. You want to always be proactive in your jamming. So, look ahead. Look at any targets any radars that may be problematic, and jam it preemptively. At this point, mainly keep an eye on the Mad 4s. Once they're within 40 miles, you want to jam it using an approach. Are you serious? Where did you come from? Where the hell did you come? What? What was that? Oh, what was that? I did not hit you. I did not. That's bullshit. I did not hit him. I did not. That is bullshit. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, it takes a lot, a high degree, it takes quite a lot of airmanship to manage both your jammers and while also flying the plane, which is why I say it's definitely a lot easier if you have an EWO in the back. You want to try to make your you want to try to make your turns as light as possible. Try not to bank as little as possible. Magnum. Oh, that's a launch from the SL radar. SL radars are actually less. The missile launch from the SL radar is actually less concerning than from the Mad 4 because SL radars can't one-shot you. Anyways, looks like our sidearm was ineffective. It's fine. That's why we still have. That's what our GPUs. That's what our JDAMs are for. Uh-oh. Shoot. Where'd that come from? Who's that going for?
Oh no, one of the the SAMs got through and struck an ally. This is gonna have lasting consequences. The
Where'd that
mission
come
is a
from?
failure.
Where did that even come from? How that even? I don't understand. Sometimes they will just. Sometimes SAMs will just track and there's nothing you can do about it. Also, I just quick saves, and that missile's already coming for us.
Oh no! One of the SAMs got through and struck.
Hey, so do you all know what chaff is? Like, you know, there's this thing called chaff, and you can pop chaff to dummy off missiles, right? You know, fun fact, that chaff exists. Why don't you just use chaff?
Oh no!
Why don't you just use chaff? Why don't you just use chaff or something, or just, you know, pull away? You're an you're an FA-26. I know you can, and you can. No.
Oh no! One of the SAMs got through and struck an ally.
Oh, that was a bad. Yeah, that was just a bad quick save. No.
Oh no! One of the SAMs got through and struck an ally.
That's one reason why you want to be extra careful with
Echo
quick saves in
1,
this
you are
mission.
go for launch.
Alright, so we're back to where we were, and hopefully everything should go okay this time. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself by saying that, but the SL radar is neutralized. It didn't even target anyone. The SL radar didn't even target anyone. And the SL radar didn't even target anyone, and it was destroyed with my sidearm. So yeah, that was good. It was destroyed quickly. No one had to break formation to evade the missile. I wish they wouldn't break formation. I wish they would just stay in formation and not try to defend against the missile. But oh well. Anyways, we're currently just jamming in the two remaining radars that are a threat careful, watch our altitude. Do not collide with our guys again. Altitude. Just watch your altitude. Make sure you watch your altitude. You have to watch a lot of things, really. But now we basically can just focus on flying, because we don't have to focus on jamming anymore, because we're already jamming the radars we need to. Two full power or jammings on the two remaining Mad 4s that are a threat. And as long as we stay in formation, as long as we stay close to our allies, that they shouldn't be able to get anything off. You know, ideally. I believe our allies are starting to descend. Our allies are actually starting to descend. So we can start descending. We're actually falling behind. We need to be careful, because I think that Mad 4 behind us is out of range, but this one to our left is still very much in range. It's careful not to descend too quickly. Careful not to descend too quickly. Alright, I'm just focusing all of my jamming on that one Mad 4. Yeah, our allies are now descending, and hopefully they should be able to get some terrain between, and soon enough they'll be able to get terrain in between them and the Mad 4, and then we'll be truly clear. We'll be truly in the clear. Yeah, this mission is pretty much just entirely a test of your jamming, of your support jamming skills. yeah, we should be good now. I think our allies might actually be hidden behind the terrain now, so they should be good. Yeah. All right, let's reduce our speed because we're actually gaining a lot of speed since we're descending, and yeah, now our allies are actually in the clear. Now our allies are completely in the clear. Yep, we are now hidden, and we are now shielded from that last Mad 4. We are now in the clear. Now approaching the airbase. And yeah, again, that mission is kind of complicated to explain, but if you just follow my lead throughout the video, that should
work. You made it past the SAM sites without losing a single ally. Go ahead and contact Tower for landing.
Roger that. All right, we've made it through. We've made it through the SAM grid. That mission is pretty complicated to explain, but just try to follow my lead. Jam the targets that I jam when I jam them. Just try to keep track of what targets I'm jamming. Anyways, yeah, our work here is done. Now we just have to land at the airbase, we have to just land at this airbase, which is called Triadelphia Airbase. Triadelphia Airbase, Echo 1-1, request landing.
Echo 1-1, Tower, copy. Fly heading 037. Expect runway 14.
Runway
Echo
14.
1-1, Tower, cleared to land at runway 14.
Alright, copy runway 14. Wingman, RTB.
Negative.
Alright. Where's our wingman? Is our wingman also like... I think our wingman also entering the landing pattern. Alright. Because I was the first one to call for clearance, I guess I was the first one to call for landing clearance, so I'm the first one to land. So I'm the first one to get to land. So, Triadelphia Airbase is actually a little, actually kind of a little high over sea level. Like, as you can see, we're actually kind of on the high ground. So I'm gonna set my altimeter to radar mode. Then we're gonna come in for landing. We're assigned runway 14, which is, that runway. This was actually an airfield design that was introduced in the update that added the
landing gear.
The EF-24. And yeah. All right. All right, gear down, flaps down.
Altitude.
Gear down, flaps down. We're actually pretty high above the glide slope. We're also a little bit off to the left. Alright, and we're good. Oof. Flared a little too late there. That flare, oof, that was hard. That was a little hard. That flare was a little too late. The cool thing about this aircraft is because you basically are, the landing distance is actually really short. This aircraft landing distance is actually really short due to the slow landing speed. I was gonna talk about how all right, we're not gonna bother attacking parking. We're here. We made it. We made it through that mission. That mission is only 18 minutes long, but yeah, it's tough. It's a real tough mission. All right, flaps up, wings back, and we are down and clear. Yeah, I was gonna say how how you want to be careful. You want to be a bit careful with landing, cause especially like during your flare, you want to be a little bit careful, cause you can actually tail strike if you flare too much, or if you slow down too much in your flare, or if you flare too early, or if you flare too much, you can actually tail strike. Yeah, this is like pretty much the only aircraft that you can tail strike. You can tail strike on landing. So yeah, you want to be careful. Anyways, we made it. Mission accomplished. But you know, again, this is pretty much the only playable aircraft that you can tail strike on landing, if you're not careful. But you know, we just kind of flared a bit too late and kind of slammed it, kind of slammed it on the landing. Oh well, it's fine. It's a carrier aircraft. It's a carrier aircraft. It's made for hard landings. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.